Welcome back to Enter Tonight, or Sidebar, depending on how you look at this. We have a second part of Sidebar coming up at 10 p.m. and we'll be speaking to Raphael Tuju. We'll be speaking from NASA. We've got Norman Magaya coming through. James Ole Kiapi, running for president, is also going to be with us at 10 p.m. and the advocate Joem Devo. So please come back at 10 p.m. Before that, though, I've got Peter Kenneth here with me, who's running for governor in the great county of Nairobi. Yes. Let's get this out of the way real quick. Yes. Infotrack's opinion poll. They put Governor Evans Kidero at 45%. They put Mike Sonko at 45%, the senator, and they gave you only 3.3%. Your reaction?
I'm surprised about these polls, because if you interview 500 people and you give a poll to suit a certain situation. I went to JKL Live last Wednesday. Instant poll, 10,000 calls, I had 43%. So I really don't know. I think the real poll will be on Tuesday, and we'll have it out. So this is not a real poll? I don't think so.
You're winning this thing?
I'm confident. I'm confident. We have done real hard door-to-door campaign, and we'll see it on Tuesday. We'll surprise people here.
But you were confident of winning the presidency, but that didn't work out, did it?
I said that it depended on a few items then. I was very clear if you go back. But on this one, we have worked hard on it. I think we have brought out the Nairobians' issues, what the real problems are. And I'm a little skeptic with some of these polls. In fact, the other day, some cabinet minister said they only trust the Ipsos.
Right.
So that should tell you what it is. And remember, some of these pollsters were so wrong in the nominations. Some of them gave certain candidates 90%, and they didn't get even 30%. So you really don't know. I don't think I would rely on polls.
What is the difference between you and Governor Kidero? Because you both come from a business background, and those who are disappointed in how Kidero has run the city say we don't want to elect another suit.
The difference is as clear as day and night. Very clear. The company I ran is one of the leading companies in the stock exchange 15 years later. The company he ran started going down immediately he left. That's a very clear difference, that 15 years later, the foundation I put in the company I worked for is still there. In his tenure, the company he led started bleeding immediately he left. Two, his management skill, by just simply spending 92% on salaries and recurrent expenses, should tell you he's a poor manager.
What is your promise to Nairobians? What are you promising to do for them that the current administration has not done for them?
I bring a lot of integrity and passion into this contest, because we must deal with the issues that Nairobi continues to suffer from. In particular, I say that between 1 year and 1.5 years, I'll sort out the traffic snail up.
How will you do that?
I'll deal with about 16 roundabouts around the city that will ease traffic. But in 3 years, we will start programs to start a light trail.
Governor Kidero tried to get rid of the roundabouts, the Nyayo Stadium one, the Haile Selassie one. That failed.
He did it kienyeji. He did it kienyeji. That's why it failed. You need to do tunnels, you need to do some flyovers as what it is done in developed world. That's why he failed. And that confirms his consistency in failure.
How will you fund it if 98% of the revenues that the city gets is going to paying salaries?
You have to make profit centers out of expense accounts, which means you have to cut off some expenses so that you can have some 30–40% of the total revenues going towards development.
Nehemiah Rotich, ask PK why he believes that the deputy president orchestrated his downfall in Jubilee Party as he once claimed.
I didn't claim. I said what I said at that time, but that is now water under the bridge. I think what we are looking for is the real contest on Tuesday.
Ask PK why he decided to run for the governor's seat instead of the presidency. Is it true that he lost hope? Lazarus Omoyo.
No. There are many people who have run for presidency and run for other positions thereafter. In fact, one of the greatest stories is over Abraham Lincoln. He ran 4 different positions before he became the president of the United States.
Right.
In our own country, the 2 contestants for the president, the 2 leading contestants, they ran for presidency. After they failed, they ran for MP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harry Bonner, my incoming governor, Peter Kenneth, salute to you. Your style of campaigning puts you very close to the people as they are in real life.
Yes, that's what we've been doing, and we hope it will translate to an achievement on Tuesday.
I want to make sure I'm reading a representative of the comments. Sanctioned Ian Mark says, we trust Peter Kenneth Nairobi's 100 billion. It's time we stamp our feet down to corruption.
You can count on me, and I'll bring the integrity in it.
Katebe Saddam, what does the PK have to say concerning the belief that he's there to split the Jubilee votes?
Which Jubilee votes? You know, when you talk about split, you are either in the same party, splitting the votes for that party, or you are from the same community, trying to split votes of that community. It's neither here nor there in this contest. There is nobody from the same community running, and we are not in the same party. I am seeking votes of poor, suffering Nairobians who have suffered the last 4.5 years, who continue to suffer, and who have not been given any hope that there will be alleviation of the ills that bedevil Nairobi. And that's for a fact.
For a capital city, but also the most important county in the country, what is your plan or vision to elevate this county, as it were?
You know, for a city so important like Nairobi, controlling the country's GDP, you really need good ideas. You really need a manager with a vision who can drive that vision through. You really need somebody who will be the driver. If you look at business in Nairobi, you will not be able to attract investors in this city, in the state in which it is today. You actually have, even if you look at the small traders, you have to balance between appetite for revenue and the business environment, so that you balance the two to encourage business coming to the city, and also to allow people who cannot get jobs to create jobs by actually being self-employed.
Dennis Ntumbi wonders, why is PK supporting Jubilee, yet they are no different from with the Kidero government he constantly attacks and they rigged him out?
I think I'm running as an independent candidate, and I'm very clear about that. And for me, the same strong views I held at that shambolic nomination, I still hold them today, that we can turn our city around and make it a more attractive city and a more working city. Larry, you cannot have people waking up at, kids waking up at 4 in the morning to go to school because of traffic. You can imagine what time the parents wake up. It's simply not right.
Real quick, you want to answer this one more time? You mentioned it in the last hour. How are you planning to uplift downgraded slums in Nairobi?
I said under the urban renewal, that's where lies the greatest opportunity for the city. Because you can actually rebuild the city, taking minimum space and releasing more space to build more houses, more recreation facilities, more fields. Remember, we need to also address the issue of entertainers, musicians, artists, sportsmen, because they can create employment.
Okay, finally, what do you tell to these people? There's a lot of people like Clive Sean who says, tell him he can make a good president in the year 2032 than a good governor in the year 2017. A lot of people have written you off.
You know, they can write me off, but I'm not off yet. I am here. I think the most fair way to put it, those who talk of 2022, only God can decide who will be there in 2022. And I think let the Nairobians speak for themselves on Tuesday when they vote. Why are we predetermining? If I was not that strong, why would they be commenting anyway? That's a question I must beg to ask.
All right.